Welcome to the Baboom podcast, your go-to source for expert tips on car stereo installation, vehicle wiring, and all things wiring related. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, we've got the advice to help you power up your ride. Get ready to crank up the volume on your knowledge and make your next wiring project a success.
Today, we've got a great article we're digging into from Baboom. It's called Setting Up a Stealth Car Audio System, Hidden Speakers and Amps.
Sounds spot on.
Yeah, it seems packed with clever tricks and some real insider tips. So we're going to try and pull out all the good stuff for you.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so where do you even begin if you want this kind of hidden high-performance sound? What's step one?
Well, the article makes a really strong point right at the start. The absolute cornerstone, it says, is choosing the right components.
Right. Makes sense.
Since space is obviously tight and visibility needs to be zero, you need gear that gives you amazing performance, but from a really small package.
Like what kind of gear are we talking about specifically?
Think Class D amplifiers, for instance. They're super efficient.
Efficient how?
Well, they pump out serious power but generate surprisingly little heat compared to older designs.
Ah, okay. And that's crucial because you can't exactly install cooling fans in some hidden nook, right?
Precisely. So unlike those old school amps that could practically fry an egg, these Class D ones let you tuck them away in much tighter spots. Less ventilation needed.
Okay, so that helps with the hiding part significantly. What else? Subwoofers. They're usually pretty bulky.
Yeah, traditionally. But the article talks about compact, shallow mount subwoofers. These are specifically designed to fit in places you'd never normally think a sub could go.
Like under a seat, maybe? Or in a side panel?
Exactly. Forget the big boxes. These are engineered for those tight, sometimes weirdly shaped factory spaces. And when you're picking any of these parts, amps, subs, the main speakers too, the article flags some key things to watch out for.
Like?
Well, we mentioned heat operating temperatures, but also what kind of enclosure they need, if any. And crucially, how flexible they are with mounting. Can you mount them sideways, upside down?
Right, because the perfect hidden spot might not be oriented the right way up.
Exactly. So it's not just about small. It's about small, capable, and adaptable to those hidden spots.
The article also mentions things like better thermal management built in and integrated crossovers. Sounds pretty advanced for small gear.
It really is smart engineering.
Yeah.
Integrated crossovers, for example, they simplify the wiring quite a bit. Fewer separate boxes to hide.
Less clutter.
Yeah, and that better thermal design is vital for making sure the components last when they're tucked away, under seats, inside rear quarter panels, maybe even behind the dashboard like the article suggests.
Behind the dash. Wow, okay.
Yeah, some amplifiers are tiny enough now. And the payoff, as the article really stresses, is getting genuinely impressive sound from stuff you just can't see.
Okay, so we've identified these sort of mini powerhouses. Now, the acoustics. Where do the speakers actually go to stay invisible but still sound good?
Right, the acoustic strategy. It really relies heavily on using what the car already gives you.
The factory locations.
Exactly. The article points to using the standard spots in the door panels, up on the dashboard, the rear deck.
Yeah.
Those are your starting points. The goal is to upgrade what's in those spots without changing the look at all.
So you're literally just swapping the factory paper cones for something much better, but that fits in the same hole and behind the original grille.
That's the idea. You use high-quality coaxial speakers. Those are the ones with the tweeter built into the middle or component sets.
Component sets.
Yeah.
That's where the tweeter is separate.
Yeah, separate tweeter and mid-bass driver. Coaxials are simpler drop-in replacements usually. Components give you a bit more flexibility, like maybe mounting the tweeter higher up, closer to ear level, but still hidden behind a factory grille.
Ah, okay. Flush mounting them behind the original grills sounds key for keeping the look.
Totally. It can really improve the clarity of the sound stage,
Yeah.
getting those high frequencies aimed better. And then you pair those tweeters with good mid-bass drivers in the doors, say, for that fuller sound.
Right. The article also mentions using things like acoustic coupling pads and foam rings. What do they do?
Ah, yeah, the unsung heroes. These little things can make a surprising difference. The coupling pads, think of them like a gasket between the speaker and the mounting surface, usually the door metal.
Okay.
Makes a tight seal so the speaker's energy goes out into the cabin, not wasted vibrating the door panel itself. Cleaner sound.
Gotcha. And the foam rings.
Similar idea. They often go around the front edge of the speaker, kind of directing the sound out through the grill and stopping it from bouncing around wastefully inside the door cavity. Reduces reflections, clarifies the sound.
Need top-quality electrical wire? Baboom's got you covered. Get your 6-pack today. Each combo comes in 6 different colors and a total of 600 feet of wire. Perfect for any project, and you won't find a better price in the industry. Head over to baboom.com now to snag yours. That's baboom.com.
So small tweaks, big impact potentially.
Definitely. And for the real enthusiast, the article even mentions getting into frequency response testing to really fine-tune the speaker positioning and phase within those factory spots. But that's, getting pretty deep.
Yeah, definitely advanced, but still, all while looking completely stock from the outside. Okay, let's shift gears. Amps and wires. How on earth do you hide all that stuff?
Right, the amps. This takes some creativity. The article suggests looking under the rear seats. Often there's a bit of space there. Or inside the side trim panels in the trunk or cargo area. Sometimes they're unused little storage cubbies, too.
So you need to be a bit of a detective finding those voids.
Pretty much. And the key is mounting them securely, but without drilling new holes in visible trim. The article suggests using existing factory bolts where possible, or maybe strong industrial fasteners hidden away.
Right, no damage. And the wiring, that sounds like a nightmare to hide cleanly.
It requires patience. The goal is to make it look like it came from the factory that way.
How?
Using things like split loom tubing, that black corrugated plastic stuff to bundle wires together, wrapping bundles in cloth automotive tape just like the factory does, using zip ties neatly.
So mimicking the OEM look and feel.
Exactly. Protects the wires, keeps it tidy, keeps it hidden. And one really critical point they make, keep your power wires physically separate from your audio signal cables.
Why's that? Interference.
Bingo. Running them side by side can induce noise like alternator whine into the audio signal. You want clean power and clean signal paths well away from each other.
Makes total sense. You go to all this effort for great sound, you don't want annoying buzzes.
Not at all. And the article even mentions trying to use wire colors and coverings that blend in with the car's interior if any tiny bits might ever be glimpsed. It's that level of detail.
Wow. And the golden rule here seems to be reversibility.
Absolutely fundamental. The article stresses this. Everything you do should be reversible. No cutting factory harnesses if you can avoid it. No drilling holes in trim.
Preserves the car's value, avoids warranty issues.
Precisely. And they actually give a nod to using premium CCA wires. That's copper-clad aluminum. Apparently they're a good choice for these hidden installs.
Why CCA?
Good balance of performance and flexibility, apparently. Easier to snake through tight spots behind panels and under carpets compared to some other types.
Okay, hidden speakers, hidden amps, hidden wires. What about the thing you actually interact with? The head unit, the radio, and the dash. Most people like their factory ones now, right? With the screens and all.
Yeah, absolutely. And for good reason. The article points out, you keep your steering wheel controls, your built-in navigation or vehicle setting screens, the Bluetooth phone connection. Everything works as intended.
You keep the factory brain, basically.
Exactly. But factory systems aren't always designed for audiophile sound quality on the output side. That's where the magic happens next.
What is?
Sophisticated signal processors.
Yeah.
Digital signal processors, or DSPs. The article mentions specific examples like the audio-controlled DQ-DX or the Helix DSP Ultra. These are well-regarded units.
Okay, what do these boxes do? Are they like translators for the audio signal?
That's a pretty good way to put it, yeah. They take the speaker-level outputs from your factory head unit, which might be amplified already, but maybe not very cleanly, or maybe the signal is split into highs and lows, and they convert that into a clean, flat, low-level RCA signal, the kind that high-quality aftermarket amplifiers want to see.
Ah, so it cleans up and prepares the signal coming out of the factory radio before it hits your nice new hidden amps.
Precisely. It bypasses the often mediocre amplification stage in the factory unit and gives your aftermarket amps a pristine starting point. It's like giving the factory radio's audio output a serious sonic upgrade.
Super clever. And these DSPs do more than just signal conversion, right? I think the article mentioned things like time alignment, equalization.
Oh yeah, that's where the real power lies. Time alignment is amazing. It digitally delays the sound from the speakers closest to you so that the sound from all speakers arrives at your ears at the exact same moment.
Like correcting for the fact that the driver's side speaker is closer than the passenger?
Exactly. It creates a much more focused soundstage, like the band is right there on your dashboard. Equalization, or EQ, lets you tailor the sound frequency by frequency to overcome the car's specific acoustic problems and match your taste.
Get rid of boominess, add some sparkle.
You got it. And crossover settings let you precisely control which frequencies go to which speakers. So the deep bass only to the sub, the highs only to the tweeters. Much more efficient and sounds better.
Okay. And what was that about signal summing?
Right, some factory systems, especially premium ones, split the audio signal up. They might send bass frequencies to door woofers and treble to dash speakers internally. A good DSP can take these separate signals and sum them back together into one full range signal before doing all its other magic.
So you get the whole musical picture back again.
You don't lose anything.
Yeah.
And, just like the amps, these DSP units are usually compact enough to be hidden away behind a panel or in the glove box or center console.
Yeah.
So, invisible brain surgery for your audio system.
The payoff sounds huge. Looks totally stock, but sounds incredibly customized and high res.
That's the dream of stealth audio, yeah.
Okay, this is all making sense. Compact gear, clever placement, smart integration. But what about the car itself? Isn't the cabin like a terrible place for sound usually? Lots of noise and reflections.
It definitely can be. And the article rightly emphasizes that acoustic treatment is a vital, though often overlooked, part of a really good stealth build.
Soundproofing, basically.
Sound deadening and soundproofing, yeah.
Ever.
Controlling noise and vibrations is crucial. It actually lets your fancy hidden speakers perform better, especially at lower volumes, which, helps maintain that stealth aspect. You don't have to crank it to hear the detail.
Right, because you're not fighting as much road noise. So what materials are we talking about?
The article mentions butyl-based sound deadening masks first. You apply these directly to the big metal panels' inner and outer door skins are key. The floor pan, the trunk floor, maybe the roof.
What do they do? Just add weight?
They add mass, and they damp resonance. They stop the metal panels from vibrating and acting like secondary speakers, basically. Reduces rattles and buzzing, especially from bass.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Then it talks about adding layers on top of that, like closed-cell foam or mass-loaded vinyl, known as MLV.
More layers.
Yeah, the foam helps absorb airborne sound waves and decouple panels, while the MLV acts as a heavy barrier to block noise from actually entering the cabin. Road noise, tire noise, exhaust noise.
So it's a multi-pronged attack on noise and vibration. Sounds like it would just make the car quieter and more refined overall, even with the stereo off.
It absolutely does. That's a huge side benefit. But for the audio system, it means the speakers have a much more solid, non-resonant platform to work from. They sound cleaner, tighter, more dynamic.
Better performance from the hidden gear.
Exactly. And the article notes it can even help protect the hidden amps and processors from excessive vibration, or maybe even some heat reflecting off panels. It all adds up to a much better listening environment, all achieved without changing the look.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. A stealth audio system isn't just one thing, is it? It's this blend of, smart engineering with compact gear.
Strategic use of the car's own layout for the speakers, thinking about the acoustics.
Really meticulous techniques for hiding the amps and running wires cleanly.
Clever ways to integrate with the factory head unit using those DSPs.
And finally, that crucial layer of sound treatment to quiet down the car and let the system really shine.
That sums it up perfectly. It's all aimed at that one goal. Amazing sound, zero visual disruption. From the speaker install right through to the damping materials.
And it's interesting, like we said, ba-boom, ba-boom, where the article came from. They don't sell the speakers or amps, but they support this whole approach by providing those high-grade CCA wires designed precisely for being tucked under carpets or behind panels.
Yeah, it shows there's a real market and need for specialized supporting components, like the right kind of flexible, high-quality wire when you're doing these intricate hidden installs. They mention a wholesale program too, and even software tools to help plan the wiring.
Right, for installers or serious DIYers, I guess.
Yeah, underscores that it takes some planning and the right materials.
Need top-quality electrical wire? Baboom's got you covered. Get your 6-pack today. Each combo comes in 6 different colors and a total of 600 feet of wire. Perfect for any project, and you won't find a better price in the industry. Head over to baboom.com now to snag yours. That's baboom.com.